Alright, I got a little bit of a love-hate relationship with something. So as you guys know, I've been doing intermittent fasting almost 2 years now. Every day I fast at least 15, 16 hours. Sometimes I push it a little bit farther than that. Yesterday I pushed it a little bit too far. I ended up vomiting. And I felt very woozy while I was driving, and I realized this is not exactly very safe. I broke the fast, but I was very upset at myself that I had to break the fast. Not just for the physical reasons for fasting. Let me highlight a few things. So I especially love how clean my computer is. When I'm eating, there's no way my computer can stay this clean for more than a few hours, and I gotta wipe it down. Big distractions, right? The other thing I've noticed about fasting, and this is one of the earliest benefits that I noticed, was how much time it takes to eat a meal. Let me pause this video and ask yourself how much time it takes to eat a meal, and make a comment, and I'll elaborate a little bit. Well, it's not just eating of that meal. You gotta prepare it, you gotta clean up afterwards, you also lose your train of thought for what you're doing. And these last couple of weeks I've been fasting very aggressively because for a number of reasons. We've been thinking about returning to the office, and I really want to correct for some eating behaviors. Sometimes I get very addicted to thinking about what I'm eating to the point that it messes with my social life. I got into trouble at one workplace because I had been interrupted while I was eating, and I couldn't focus on the meeting on hand. My mouth kept watering in anticipation of the meeting ending, and I ended up leaving that job because I had seriously embarrassed myself that one meeting. And I want to make sure this is not going to be a problem when we go back to the office. So I've been really ramping up my fasting, and these last couple of weeks, I've noticed how much more I've been able to get done. We had a Computer Olympiad conference. The conference was a flop. The problem was that a lot of my opponents, they wanted me to suit them with their time zone. Wouldn't compromise on the time, and I ended up getting 2 games there, and they didn't even count them because I couldn't get a hold of the right people to pay the entrance fees and all that. I wasn't too upset about that. I got to see where my games stand with the competitions, but I also got a lot of games. I got a lot of progress on my games too. This past week, I learned about several neural network concepts, including the swish function. It has an extra parameter that can be tuned. I don't know if this is going to make sense to a lot of my viewers. Got a lot of games done. I went to a board game club here I've been going to the board game club a lot over the last few months, and I had a good conversation with a girl at the board game club. I wasn't distracted by food. The problem is that it seriously endangered my driving yesterday, and I ended up vomiting. It just gives me a huge conflict. I wish food wasn't so bulky, so messy, so time-consuming. I gotta think about this. If you're thinking about inventing a pill to replace food, this is a very good reason why this is such a great invention. Anyways, got a little bit of a love-hate relationship with food now. It's bulky, it's messy, it's time-consuming, it's sometimes antisocial, it's addictive, and I just wish food didn't have all those characteristics. And if it can be replaced by a pill, I would take it in a heartbeat.